Hi, this is Glenda Doyle with the Ozark Mountain Homestead Doyle. Standing here on my front porch, looking out across the yard and beyond. I think I'm going to call this video the good, bad, and ugly. Because the weather we've been having has made some of the things around here look kind of ugly. But some of the good is that some things survived the cold weather we had recently. Yeah, and we've got more bad weather on the way. So I'm going to try to go around, show y'all, I guess basically what survived the cold and what didn't, the damage. Actually, the cold wasn't as damaging as the winds. I've got a lot of mess out here I got to pick up. These dahlias, oh man, they're just pitiful looking. Blooms on some of them have been really pretty. This cooler weather is actually good for the dahlias, but the wind, nope, it's really bad. The mums, they've taken it pretty good. Some of this other stuff has taken the cold and the wind okay, but dahlias, no. And a lot of this stuff, probably this weekend, we're looking at some more even colder weather than we had. My last few videos that I did was like the day before we were to get down to freezing, and of course that was the one time the forecast was correct. It got down actually 31, but I don't think it stayed down long enough to damage things that much. The dahlias actually came through it pretty good. There was some cold damage on some of them, but surprisingly they weren't as bad as I would have expected. See here, we got some pretty blooms up here. Plant looks pretty pitiful. Had to take, as you can see on the ground here, I've had to take a lot of the plant out. All of these. Yeah. Same thing. Oops, got shadow in there. Same thing over here. Those dahlias. See one. I actually tied them up after that first cold that came through and had them all laid down. I tied them back up. Well, night before last, we got another hard windstorm and temperatures dropped again, but not bad enough to do any cold damage. But those peach ones down in there are so pretty. Yeah, I've got to get out. I don't know why I'm going to be deadheading, because I'm thinking probably, I think this weekend we're looking at in the 20s. So then I'll just have to cut the plants back, either dig up my tubers or leave them in the ground like I've been doing. But I'm thinking I may dig them up this year and kind of redo my dahlias for next year. I can't decide what I'm going to do on that yet. But they have survived, leaving them in the ground. What I do, I cover them with plastic, and then I put mulch on top of that, and I think every one of them came back. I mean, this is the third year for all of these across the fence here. The ones in the backyard, it's their second year, and they made it through. But, oh, I see one laid on the ground again. Tied that one up a couple of days ago. Now it's laid down again. Yeah, the blooms have been so pretty lately. Look at that. Guess I'll be taking those in the house. There's my zinnias on the outside of the fence there. Be pulling those out. I'm going to go ahead and cut some of the dead blooms for seed. This dahlia seems to withstand the wind a little better. It's not as tall. It is bushier. Maybe that, I don't know if that's the reason or not. Even those marigolds they're looking a little sad also. I don't know if I can pick up that color in there or not. But there was some freeze damage on some of the plants. Even the daylilies got burned a little, and then this black-eyed Susan vine. I don't know if the sun's shining on this. It's hard to see, but they got damaged. Some of the leaves are damaged from the freeze. And the cold weather with the wind really messes up things. The hydrangea got burned a little. Now I have 4 big hydrangeas in the back, which that's the south side of the house, and I didn't see any damage on them. This lavender dahlia here, it's had plenty of damage over the summer and everything, but been blooming quite a bit. This one right here, some pretty blooms on it. I'm surprised it's still standing as tall as it is. Maybe it's against a west fence. And we've got blooms on the clematis right here. And of course over here, Angara, it's withstood the weather. And this dahlia here held up pretty good. A lot of them do need to be deadheaded, but I can't decide if I want to do that or not. Yeah, I know I can't keep these things pretty all year, but sure hate to see them go. And then this dahlia it was blown over pretty bad, and I tied it back up. It's got a lot of buds on it. And this one, it's kind of blown over. Pretty blooms on it. Got several on it. And on around, the summer phlox still blooming. It'll bloom over there, lavender bloom on my clematis. And there was a pink one over here. Look, the wind's about to blow it off of the trellis here. And some mums down here that's getting some bloom. Got a lot of buds. And then these touch-me-nots here, they've come up volunteer. Don't know where the seed came from. Apparently I bought something that had seed in it, or I don't know. They've been coming up for the last 2 or 3 years. And sometimes I pull them out, sometimes I let them go. I've got an echinacea coneflower down there with buds on it. And then another mum, and then these 2 mums I've just set out this year. And then that calla lily right there. The wishing well, we covered it when we knew we were supposed to get that freezing weather a while back, and it came through just fine, but then the wind a few days later messed up the one on this north side, blew it off of the post there. But surprisingly, some of these plants, like the mandevillas here, they're more of a tropical plant, and surprisingly they have held up pretty good with the cold we've been having. And I just left this plastic down here. We may try to cover them again this weekend. I like to keep them as long as I can. the snapdragons are hanging in there. Probably need to water those. My little wheelbarrow thing over here, we covered it. I just couldn't bear to see it freeze. It's gotten so pretty in there. I don't know how well this is showing up. The lighting right now, not the best. But this alyssum, I'm so pleased with this alyssum. This is some that came up from seed that fell off of the ones I had in there earlier in the year. And when they died back, I didn't know the seed would germinate as easily as these have. And then I had added some petunias in there and another peach geranium. Maybe this is, maybe I'll show a little better here. I thought that was so pretty. Got a couple of roses on that arbor out there. A few more buds I'm noticing on it. But things are kind of sad looking right now. It's just the time of the year. We're getting a little bit of color change. See this maple tree here in the front yard. Got more color on this side than it does the other side. And this is the south side. I would have thought it would have had more on the north side. But it doesn't. You can see out beyond on the trees there. Some color. I don't know if we're going to get much. We're going to get a freeze and everything, and all the leaves, die and fall off. I don't know. But this bed, that artemisia in the middle right there, it's one plant. And I can't get over how pretty and big it has gotten. And the freeze, like I said, some of the daylilies, I can tell it bit them a little. Echinacea, get my shot out of here. Blooming there. I'm just surprised that they're blooming this late in the year. Some over here against the fence. Yeah. Blue salvias. A few blooms on the balloon flower, and then that's Gabiosa over there. Of course, these are all, nearly everything in here is perennials, except of course those few periwinkles. See, the cold got to some of them over there in the middle. But yeah, I think I'm going to walk around this way. On the east side of the house, of course it got the coleus. Coleus is a very tender plant. There's a little bit of life left in some of them, but after this weekend, that won't be the case. All right, you doggies coming with me? All right, well, come on. It's a little windy today. It's a pretty day. It's probably right now high 60s. But if you're familiar with impatiens, they are a very, very tender plant. And surprisingly, they survived that cold weather we had a while back. You can see them along the house here. We have cats that did a number on some of them, playing on them. But I was very surprised that they made it. And under this maple tree here, I still haven't put anything else back in there. I had pansies in there. I may put pansies back. They seem to have done really well under that tree, and I don't know, there's just something about maple trees, things haven't done well. Those mums in the front yard, it's about the only thing that's survived around that tree. But out here, trees, did a number here on my periwinkles here. They're looking pretty sad. Get over here, we can maybe see them a little better. But yeah, that cold bit them pretty good. It didn't kill them, but it sure messed their looks up. And this poor bed, holy cow. Oh, they're laid down right now. The wind is blowing, and I just can't keep them up. It breaks them, blows them down. I tie them back up, and next windstorm we have, it lays them back down, or it breaks off big branches off of them. A few of them have been able to withstand, but most of them, no. But the blooms on some of them are so pretty. Yeah, that is really sad looking. Yeah, and this pink down here has been really pretty. But yeah, this has just gotten really bad in the last couple of days. So, and we did put a few things in the greenhouse. I had plumbago and the hibiscus. We put them in, and they're actually really doing good in there. But I may try to move some more of this stuff in there this weekend. I think this pot here is pretty. Geraniums, peach geranium, and that red is like a trailing geranium, and there's some dianthus in there with it. This bed is not blooming, but the stuff's still alive. Calabrachias were blooming really, really good. Beautiful lavender blooms, and then the peach dianthus in the middle, and all of a sudden they just stopped blooming. This has gotten to be a pretty mum. Getting really colorful. And these laying on their side, that's still got to figure out what I'm going to do with them. They were part of decorations for a church event. And that diamond frost here is hanging in there. I really hope I can get that through the winter. It came through the winter last year. Came out little pieces. Get away from there. Had that little swimming pool to keep these mums from drying out. I think I gotta put that one back in there. Looking kind of bad. The wisteria got some cold damage on it. Its leaves are turning yellow. But we get some color out in the woods out here. It's not at its peak, but there is some color change. Don't know how well this is going to pick up. Probably the wrong time of day to be doing this. But yeah, I'm just hoping we don't get such a hard freeze that the leaves will all just turn brown and fall off. But across the back porch here, these plants didn't show any sign of any damage. They did fine. The daylilies, I don't see any brown stuff on them. The hydrangeas look fine. They're starting to bloom again. So, but it's, like I said, it's the south side of the house. And I think because it didn't stay cold that long, that's probably why this stuff did better back here. But a little bit of haze out across the mountains over there. I'll try to get more, as things color, that gets a little more color, more intense. Try to do a video with that. Anyway, just wanted to show y'all kind of the aftermath of the cold weather, and then probably this time next week it's going to look a whole lot worse. I got to get out and get some more seeds off of my zinnias and some things like that, and decide what I'm going to do about my dahlias. I don't know if I'm going to dig them up. I just haven't had much success keeping the tubers through the winter. You've got to have the temperatures and the moisture and everything a certain way, or they will dry up or rot or whatever. I think I had a dog try to chase the cat just now. One of my doggies just loves chasing cats. Rudy, better stop it. Well, I'm going to close this one now, and hope y'all enjoy it. Just not a whole lot of the good to see here, but yeah. Well, one more thing I want to show y'all. Just a minute. I got a pot back here. I had transplanted some petunias, and they seem to be doing really, really well. And petunias will actually take cold weather pretty good, but it goes pretty. Yeah, I had something else in there along with that peach-colored moss rose, portulaca, and the white verbena, and it kind of died out. So I had these petunias that came up. I have a big bed of petunias out in the front, outside my front fence, and there was a lot of petunias came out from seed that had fallen off, and I transplanted some around here. Should have just filled the whole thing in there, but they're doing really good. But anyway, I'm going to close for now, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you're not a subscriber, I'd like for you to subscribe, and we'll try to do a little better on getting some videos out a little more often. I'm going to show, like I said, the changes in the seasons, the color, and what have you. But maybe the next one, maybe I can be in it. Trying to do this with my phone camera by myself, it's a little difficult to have me in it and then switch it so I can do the video and see what I'm videoing. Got pretty blooms on the hydrangea up here. We're supposed to have a wedding the 9th of November, and I'm hoping some of these flowers will be pretty enough we can use. I don't know. But that weather's what they're saying it's going to be this weekend. Well, probably won't be much left. Alright, I'm going to call it quits for now. Hope y'all enjoy it. If you have any comments, whatever, I'd love to hear them. So, bye for now.